Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan, and today I'll be discussing my topic, societal impacts of virtual reality, for my class, Technology and the Global Arena. I'm going to start off today by talking about what exactly virtual reality is. Well, basically, virtual reality is just a computer-generated simulation in three-dimensional space that can be interacted with in a seemingly real and physical way by a person using some special electronic equipment such as a helmet with a screen inside or gloves fitted with sensors. An immersive experience really in which participants view stereoscopic, listen to 3D sounds, and are free to explore and interact within a virtual world. Virtual reality is a powerful technology and with a potential for far-ranging societal and psychological impact. Virtual reality has the potential to profoundly alter human society, not by altering our physical bodies, but by altering our perceptions and interactions. There's a great deal of attention being paid to the psychology of those who use the internet and the internet's larger social implications. Some of the existing practical applications of VR, such as VR for Impact, which is basically just a multi-year program providing grants to VR projects and support for the Sustainable Development Goals. These goals are universal calls to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and to ensure all the people enjoy peace and prosperity. Through VR for Impact, HTC Vive, which is the leading company for VR technology right now, commits funding to the developers, creators, and VR dreamers to build something new, something that speaks to our humanity and has the potential to change the world. Another practical application that exists is in healthcare, which is one of the biggest adopters of virtual reality, which encompasses surgery simulations, phobia treatment, robotic surgery, and skill training. One of the advantages of this technology is that it allows healthcare professionals to learn new skills as well as refreshing existing ones in a safe environment. Plus, it allows this without causing any danger to the patients. Virtual reality is also an extremely useful tool in the construction industry, which is often known as having a very high amount of inefficiency and low profit margins. Using a virtual environment, an organization can not only render the resulting structure in 3D, but also experience them as they would in the real world. Furthermore, the construction of a building can be simulated in virtual reality as it would in its normal environment. This allows an organization to fine-tune construction processes for maximum efficiency and a minimum amount of change. Another area as well is education, um, which has adopted virtual reality for teaching and learning situations. This advantage is The advantage of this is that it enables large groups of students to interact with each other as well as within a three-dimensional environment. It is able to present complex data in an accessible way to students, which is both fun and easy to learn. Plus, these students can interact with the objects in the environment in order to discover more about them. For example, astronomy students can learn about the solar system and how it works by physical engagement with the objects within. They can move planets, see stars, and track the progress of comets. Now, although we're using VR for a lot of very good practical applications, since it's such an easily accessible technology, you can just go to any Best Buy and go buy a VR headset and start using it. Um, there are some long-term social negative impacts that are associated to that. For example, after spending too much time in a virtual environment, it may be difficult for users to return to the real world and behave the same way they did before the virtual experience. This is obviously due to extended use or abuse of virtual reality simulations. They may be desensitized to certain types of violence or interactions, which could damage their social relationships. They may also overestimate their physical abilities, attempting a jump they can't make or try a skill they've only perfected in a VR environment. There's also a lot of known negative effects when small children are exposed to, aggressive aggressive or violent video games at an early age, and these can also be, heightened with the experience of virtual reality. But one of the most egregious cons of virtual reality is would be the propensity for escapism. Escapism is basically the tendency to seek distraction and relief from unpleasant realities, especially by seeking entertainment or engaging in fantasy. Meaning, if someone is depressed or unhappy with their life, they might use virtual reality as an escape by entering a different world where they don't have to be themselves. Social media has given us a small dose of this. People hide behind their computers and treat people in ways they wouldn't treat them if they were right in front of them. While there's the negative social impacts that exist, there's also plenty of positive impacts that exist. For example, saying virtual reality will help us become more social might seem counterintuitive, considering that sitting on your couch with a headset covering your face, in fact, might seem antisocial. However, think about your friends or family who live on the other side of the country. If you live in California, you'd probably be lucky to see your relatives in New York more than once or twice per year. With a realistic VR experience, you could spend time with distant loved ones at the touch of a button. Think about the first time you used FaceTime or some other video conferencing software. It's a lot different than just making a phone call. Also, VR has plenty of applications that are not recreational, like virtual business meetings with teams across the world, a better view of an e-commerce product before making a purchase, or a virtual tour of London before booking a plane ticket. And VR, although it's been pushed mostly by the gaming community, it's not just for games. It has been shown to help in a variety of applications, from military training activities to treatment for anxiety disorders and phobias, to functioning as an art form. Another application where VR shows a lot of promise is stroke recovery. Virtual reality has emerged as a new approach to treatment in stroke rehabilitation settings over the last 10 years. By simulating real-life activities, stroke patients are able to work on their self-care skills in a setting that is usually impossible to create in a hospital environment. In conclusion, currently there is a lack of information on the short and long-term psychological impacts of VR. There's also not enough known about who and what types of individuals are using VR. VR continues to develop novel applications beyond simple entertainment due to the increasing availability of VR technologies and the intense immersive experience. While the potential advantages of virtual reality are limitless, there has been much debate about the ethical complexities that this new technology presents. Potential ethical implications of VR include psychological and cognitive impacts and behavioral and social dynamics. Identifying and managing procedures to address emerging ethical issues will happen not only through regulations and laws, but also through ethics and practice. Thank you for listening and have a good night.